Hello guys, I am Prince and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a to-do list using HTML and CSS. So let's get started. So at the end of the video, this is what our to-do list is going to look like. The main features of our to-do list is going to be these check buttons and our beautiful background. It's not going to be anything much since we are not going to be using JavaScript, but I hope it will be able to help you broaden your knowledge on HTML and CSS. So let's get started. As you can see here, I already have my CSS link. You should create that too. Next, we are going to create our to-do container, to-do list container. Let's call it to-do container. The next, I'm going to create the title for our to-do list. The text in here is going to be my to-do list. My to-do list. The next, we're going to come down here and create an ordered list UL. That's our UL tag. Class in it is going to be to-do list, and next we are going to create our first list tag li, and it's going to have a class of to-do item. In our li, we are going to have a span. This span is going to be the text description of our to-do. This is our first to-do. Let's call it to-do text. In here we're going to have learn HTML and CSS. Let's make this ones uppercase. The next, we're going to have our input. Here we're going to have input, and in our input the type is going to be checkbox, not text. The next, we're going to add a class. It's going to be checkbox. We're going to paste our list two more times. 1, 2. Let's see what that looks like. This is what we want, but we'll have to make it look more stylish by adding CSS. The HTML looks correct, but let's add more CSS. Firstly, in our CSS, we are going to type in this asterisk, and in here we're going to have margin 0 and padding 0. Our box sizing is going to be border box, and font family is going to be sans serif. The next, we're going to add some code to our body tag, the body tag in HTML. First, we're going to have background in here, linear gradient, and we're going to have 135 degrees. Next, we're going to add our first column. Is going to be hash 9a 9cff. Then next, we're going to add 0%, and next we are going to add our second color, hash FAD0C4. Then next we are going to add 100%. Next we are going to add display flex and align items center and justify content center. Lastly, in here we are going to have main height, and it's going to be 100 VH. The next, we're going to style our to-do container. Let's type in to-do dash container. Now, to-do container, we're going to have background color. It's going to be hash 85788D2. That's a kind of blue color. Next, we're going to have width 90%, and max width is going to be 400 px. Next, we're going to add padding. Our padding is going to be 20 px, and border radius is going to be 15 px. Next, here we're going to have our box shadow. Our box shadow is going to be 0, 4 px, 8 px, and RGBA. In here we're going to have this RGBA is going to be our box shadow color. We're going to have 0 0 0 then 0.2. Lastly, for our to-do container, we're going to have text align and it's going to be center. Let's see what it looks like. This looks nice, but we are not yet there. Let's add more codes. Next, we're going to style our to-do container title. The tag was h2. In here we're going to have font size, it's going to be 24px, and next we're going to add our color. The color is going to be white. Just type in #fff. Then next we're going to add margin bottom. Our margin bottom is going to be 20px, and next we're going to style our to-do list. In here we're going to have list style type none. Then next we are going to style our to-do item. Let's see if the class is available in HTML. Yes, it's our class is right here in HTML. We're going to have background color. Background color is going to be #f3. Just type in f3. That's also a white color but another shade. Next we're going to add padding. Our padding is going to be 15px, and we're going to have a margin bottom. It's going to be 10px. Next we're going to add a border radius to our to-do item. Let's the border radius be 10px. Next we're going to add display, flex, and align items center. Next we're going to add justify content space between. Let's see what we have there. This is looking much more better right now, but I think we can make it look more better. I think we are missing our input and button here. Let's add that in HTML. Let's go back and add our last input. Just down here we're going to have our div. Let's create a div, and it's going to have a class, and let's call it add task. In here we're going to have inputs, and the type is going to be text. Then next we're going to add placeholder. Our placeholder is going to be new task, just like this, new task. Then next we're going to add a button just down here. The text in our button is going to be add. Let's see what it looks like. That is what we want. Then next, let's add our remaining CSS code. Here we stopped at justify content, so let's continue. Let's add transition, background color. What this is going to do is to change our background color whenever we hover on the to-do item. Whenever we hover on these to-do items, the color is going to change. So let's continue. Background color, it's going to be 0.3 seconds and is. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, we have to add the hover first for it to work. Type in hover, to the item hover. We're going to have background color and hash e2, just like this. Let's see what it looks like. That is what I'm talking about. If you look closely, you can see the colors changing whenever we hover on it. Next, we are going to style our to-do text. That is the text in here, this text. Let's go ahead and change the text to make them look different. Here we're going to have practice flexbox. This one is going to be practice flexbox. Then the second one is going to be build a to-do list. Clear this out and type in build a to-do list. Then next we're going to add our remaining style codes. The first one here is to do text. We're going to have to do text here. That is what is missing. As I was saying before, these to do text, we are going to add some style to them. First, we have font size. Our font size is going to be 15px, and the color is going to be hash 333. This looks beautiful. Next, we are going to style our checkbox. They don't look as good as the ones we have over here. Our checkbox is going to have, firstly, let's type it out, checkbox. That's the class in our input in HTML. Firstly, we are going to have appearance. It's going to be none. And next, we are going to have width. Our width is going to be 20px, and height is going to be 20px. Next, we are going to type in border. Our border is going to be 2px solid hash 000. That's black. The next, we are going to add a border radius. It's going to be 5px, and we're going to have outline. Our outline is going to be none, and cursor is going to be pointer. Next, we're going to we're going to add a transition to our checkbox. Transition background color. That's what we have right here. You can even grab it and paste it in there in order not to waste time. Next, we're going to add more code to our checkbox to make it change color whenever we click on it, just like what we have right here. What you're going to do is type in checkbox and add this semicolon, then checked. Next, we're going to have background color, and we're going to have hash 6b70ff. Then next, we're going to add a border color. It's going to be hash 000. That's black again. Then next, we're going to add we're going to style our add tags container, the one we created lastly. Our add tags container is going to have few styles in it. First one is going to be margin top. It's going to be 20px, and next we are going to add display flex and justify content space between. The next we're going to add align items center. Let's see what that looks like. This is what we want. The next we're going to add let's get down here and style our inputs, the input we have in our add tags inputs. Here we're going to have a width. Our width is going to be 15%, and our width for the input is going to be 80%. And next we're going to add a padding of 10px, and border radius is going to be 8px, while our border is going to be 1px. Solid hash ddd. That is kind of a blue color. Next we're going to add outline none, and transition border color 0.3 seconds and ease. Then next we are going to style our button, the button we have in our add tags container. Add tags button. Let's see what our input looks firstly. Our input is looking nice, but it seems we have a problem in our checkbox. Let's see what the problem is. Okay, this is the problem right here. We added 0 there instead of, sorry, we added 0 instead of 20px. Let's see. Yes, this is what it should look like. Then next we are going to complete our button style. Get down here and type in width. The width is going to be 15px, and background color is going to be hash F6B 6B. Let's see what it looks like. This looks good. That's the color I want, but it seems like the text is spilling out of the button. Let's add more code. This should be 15%, not 15px. I think that's the problem. That's more better. Next, we're going to add border none, and we're going to have color white, and we're going to have padding 10px, border radius is going to be 8px. Next, we're going to have cursor, pointer, and transition background color. That's the same thing we have up there. We can grab it and paste it again. Grab this and paste it in here. Next, we're going to have our add tags button over. Grab this and paste it again, and over. In here, we're going to add a background color. To change the background of our button whenever we hover on it, it's going to be hash ff4757. Let's see what that looks like. Perfect. As you can see, this is just what we want. It's the exact copy of the first one we had. So that's it for the video. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.